For 75 years, Pluto was just a faint point of light, just a small pixel. You remember seeing it in textbooks. It was just a gray dot. You didn't think about it. Nobody did. Then, on July 14, 2015, we saw it. Really saw it. And the first reaction from the public was, wow, it has a heart. But the reaction from the scientists at NASA was different. They weren't saying wow. They were staring at the monitors in silence. Because when you actually look at these images, I mean really look at them, you start to notice something disturbing. It looks too much like Earth. It has blue skies, it has glaciers, it has mountains, it has dunes. But it's 3 billion miles away from the sun. It should be a dead, frozen, cratered rock like our moon. It shouldn't have weather, it shouldn't have color, and it definitely shouldn't be moving. But somehow, it is. The images prove that Pluto is technically alive. And the more we analyze the data, the more we realize it's not just a planet, but something else that we can straight away explain. Here is the first thing that is seriously off. Where are the craters? Space is a violent place. Look at the moon. Look at Mercury. Even Earth is covered in hidden scars. Everything in the solar system gets hit, constantly. For 4 billion years, asteroids have been raining down like gunfire. So, when New Horizons flew past Pluto, we expected to see a battlefield. We expected a pockmarked, gray wasteland. Instead, we found this, Sputnik Planitia, the left side of the heart. It is 1 million square kilometers of ice, and there isn't a single crater on it, not one. Do you know how impossible that is? Statistically, it shouldn't exist. It's like walking through a war zone and finding a pristine sheet of glass sitting in the middle of the rubble, without a scratch on it. There is only one explanation. The surface is erasing the history. Pluto is resurfacing itself, constantly. If a meteor hits it today, the planet heals the wound tomorrow. That means this ice isn't solid. It's flowing, like lava. But it's minus 240 degrees. So, what exactly is it? This is where the uncanny valley feeling sets in. You look at this image, and your brain says, sand dunes. You've seen this before. You've seen it in Dune. You've seen it in the Mojave. But then you remember where you are. Sand is rock, pulverized rock. To have sand, you need wind to grind rocks down. And to have dunes, you need a thick atmosphere to push that sand around. Pluto doesn't have rock on the surface. And its atmosphere is 100,000 times thinner than Earth's. A windstorm on Pluto feels like a butterfly coughing. It shouldn't be strong enough to move a single grain of dust. So, what are we looking at? It's not sand, it's methane crystals, tiny, frozen grains of solid gas. And the wind isn't air, it's sublimation. When the sun hits the ice, it turns directly into gas poof. And that tiny explosion of gas pushes the grains just a few inches. Over millions of years, these tiny puffs of gas built an entire desert. It's a landscape that mimics Earth perfectly, but the chemistry is completely alien. If you tried to walk on it, you wouldn't leave footprints. You might not even hit solid ground. From orbit, Pluto looks smooth. But if you zoom in on the eastern side, the texture goes wrong. It looks like skin or snake scales. NASA calls it the bladed terrain. And it is the most dangerous surface in the solar system. These aren't hills, they are knives. Giant shards of methane ice standing 500 feet tall. Imagine a forest of skyscrapers, but they're sharp, angled blades pointing at the sky. There is nowhere to land a ship here. There is nowhere to walk. If you tried to climb through this, you'd be cut to ribbons. And the spaces between the blades? It's the super puff. New research suggests the snow between these blades is so porous, so filled with empty space, that it's basically just frozen foam. You wouldn't stand on it. You would fall through it. You'd sink into a dark, frozen silo of nitrogen dust and never hit the bottom. The planet looks inviting from space, but up close, it's a trap. But the weirdest thing isn't the snow, it's the mountains. We see mountains on Pluto that are 11,000 feet tall. That's as high as the Rockies. But remember, the surface of Pluto is nitrogen ice. Nitrogen ice is weak. It's like toothpaste. If you built a mountain out of nitrogen, it would collapse under its own weight in an hour. So, how are these mountains standing? Because they aren't mountains, they are icebergs. These mountains are made of water ice, hard as rock, and they are floating on top of the nitrogen glacier. Think about that. The ground you see isn't ground. It's an ocean of slow-moving nitrogen, and the mountains are just hard rafts of ice drifting around on top of it. If you set up a time-lapse camera and waited 1,000,000 years, you would see the mountains migrate. You'd see the landscape rearranging itself like a puzzle. Nothing on this planet stays where you put it. But there was one image that really unsettled the team. It wasn't Pluto. It was the moon, Charon. Pluto has a big moon, and usually moons are gray. But Charon has a massive, dark red scab on its north pole. It looks like a wound. For a long time, nobody knew what this was. Did something hit it? Is it rust? No. It's tholins. Pluto is spraying its moon. Pluto's atmosphere is leaking into space, and because Charon is so close, it catches that spray. Methane escapes Pluto, lands on Charon's pole, and freezes. Then, the radiation from the sun cooks it. It turns it into a sticky, tar-like organic goo. That's what the red stuff is. It's the chemical building blocks of life, sterilized by radiation, painted onto a dead moon. It's messy, it feels biological, and it proves that Pluto isn't just a rock orbiting the sun. It's a chemical factory. But the image that changes everything is this one. Take a look. This was taken after New Horizons passed the planet. It turned around and looked back at the sun. You see that ring? That blue halo? That is the atmosphere. It looks exactly like Earth's atmosphere, and that's the problem. It shouldn't be blue. Mars has a red sky. Venus has a yellow sky. Earth has a blue sky because of nitrogen scattering sunlight. Pluto has a blue sky too. If you stood on the surface at noon, looking up, it wouldn't look like space. It would look like twilight on Earth. But here is the something is off moment. That atmosphere is collapsing right now. As you watch this video, Pluto is moving further from the sun. It's getting colder, and scientists believe that by 2030 or 2040, that beautiful blue ring will vanish. The air will freeze and fall to the ground. The planet will turn off. We just happened to fly by at the exact right moment in history to see it awake. If we had arrived 50 years later, we would have seen a dead, white ball. No blue sky, no moving glaciers. We would have missed it. People always ask if we're going back. Why don't we send an orbiter? Why don't we land? Because we can't, not anytime soon. It took 9 years to get there. It cost billions, and the window is closing. By the time we built a new robot and sent it out there, the Pluto we know, the living Pluto, will be gone, hibernating for the next 200 years. The images show us a world that is fighting to stay alive, a world that mimics Earth in the most impossible way. It has a beating heart, it has blue skies, it has mountains that float. It looks like a simulation of a planet that's glitching out, and maybe that's why we can't stop looking at it. Because it reminds us that even at the absolute edge of the darkness, things are not dead, they are just waiting. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more interesting space videos in the future.